Welcome back to Making the Case. We're following developing news out of Washington, D.C. tonight. For the fourth time this year, Republicans have blocked a vote on the John Lewis Voting Rights Act in a vote of 50 to 49, falling short of the 60 votes needed for the bill to move forward. The legislation, named after the late congressman and civil rights activist, was aimed at fighting voter suppression across the country and strengthening the landmark Voting Rights Act, originally passed in 1965. With me now to discuss is Stephanie Young, the executive director of When We All Vote, a nonprofit voting rights organization. Stephanie, always a pleasure seeing you, my friend.
Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, so first, your reaction to the news today. Clearly, this isn't the outcome you were hoping for, but was it surprising?
Unfortunately, it was not surprising. This is just more of the same of what we have come to have to bear because of the filibuster, and the reason why we have to have not just a majority of senators, which we already have that I know would actually vote for this bill. We have to have an additional 10 to join them in that, and because of the filibuster, that rule that's antiquated, that's old, that was started way back when, and has always stopped progress. So we expected this, unfortunately. But let me just say this: 4 Republican presidents all signed extensions of amendments for this law. When President Bush signed the last extension, that was in 2006, and it passed 98-0. So what is the problem now? The problem now is that they saw that the majority, a good majority of Americans got out there and voted in huge numbers in 2020. And this is a backlash to that. How are we going to stop people from making their voices heard? And that's making sure that they don't have equal access to the ballot box.
I mean, Stephanie, they couldn't even debate this bill. We're not even talking about voting here. We're just talking about even discussing this bill, especially after it's been revamped through a compromise. Hey, let's throw in whatever the Republicans may want in language, but they wouldn't even take it up for a debate.
Yeah, I mean, it really doesn't make sense. At the end of the day, the Voting Rights Act protects voters like me and like you who have a history of being discriminated against in this country. In states like where you're from, in Texas, and places where I'm from, Georgia, they have a history of discriminating against people of color, those with disabilities, and young people at the polls. And what this does is this bill ensures that there are federal protections for us so that we can make our voices heard. There is nothing more democratic, there is nothing more nonpartisan than voting, and to make voting a partisan issue is really at this point disgusting, but the writing is on the wall. And I'd have to say, look, the John Lewis Voting Rights Act is extremely critical and extremely important, but we also have to pass the Freedom to Vote Act as well to ensure that we are really granting more access for Americans. And I'm happy to talk through that a little bit more, because that gives early voting, more early voting times. It also does automatic voter registration. It takes us up to the 21st century when we talk about voting in this country. So there's just no excuses at this point, but there is something that people can do, and that's calling their senators.
Well, I was going to ask you, if the actual bill had passed, what it actually would mean, especially given the fact that 19 states enacted laws that make it harder for people to vote. So can you expound on that for me?
Absolutely. There's over 500 bills that have either been introduced or passed in states around this country that suppress voters in some kind of way, shape, or form. So what the John Lewis Voting Rights Act would do, it would help to create protections for states that say, hey, you know what, I want stricter voter ID laws. Well, there has to be a federal review of that where you just go ahead and do it. Or we want to do some new redistricting and change our congressional lines. There has to be federal reinforcement to do that. In addition to that, language assistance for those who don't speak English, reducing the number of polling places, all of those things, all of those tactics that we have seen people do around this country to stop Black and Brown people from voting, those would have to be federally reviewed so that they couldn't just, at a snap of a finger, do those things. And by not passing this legislation, they're creating more opportunity for people to not just even be harassed, but for them not to be able to have their voices heard as we go into the midterm elections, which is a very big deal.
Stephanie, there have been calls for an end to this filibuster. Now, why is ending it a key part of ensuring voting rights for all? And do you think the White House is doing enough?
Well, look, I was really excited about what President Biden said during his CNN town hall a couple of weeks ago about changing the filibuster. The filibuster is beyond being antiquated and old. It has a racist history and a racist past in this country. And what I mean by that is that right after Reconstruction, when African Americans got the right to vote, and they saw that African Americans went out there and voted, and we had United States senators serving in Congress.
We're going to keep fighting on that.
All the tactics that we know that happened back in the day, but also that continued during the Jim Crow era. And that is when the filibuster was created. It is allowing the minority of senators, right, the minority to control what the majority want to do. And how is that democracy? It's not. So if you elect either a certain party and they have the majority in the Senate, and they can't vote on something that the majority of the American people want because they don't have enough support from the other party, makes absolutely no sense when you have an actual majority. So beyond it being unfair, it has blocked progress in this country, not just for voting rights, but for many, I would say, human and racial rights issues that we have faced in this country. That filibuster has been used to stop our progress. And if we are going to move forward and really be a strong democracy, we have to get rid of that.
So Stephanie, where do we go from here? That's the last question I've got for you. People are exhausted, they're tired, they're fed up.
I know.
So what happens now?
Like, I'll say this, rest over the holidays as they come up, but make sure you join the efforts that we have going on at When We All Vote. Go to whenweallvote.org. We give you all the information on how you can contact your senator and tell them that you want them to pass the John Lewis Voting Rights Act. And do not stop there. We have to get the Freedom to Vote Act passed. And beyond that, we're going to make sure that we can do all that we can to get folks registered and ready and out to vote. That is another way to combat what we're seeing, and volunteering with When We All Vote is one way to do that, or taking action by calling your senator is another way to do that as well. We make it easy. So come over to whenweallvote.org.
All right, Stephanie Young, Executive Director of When We All Vote. Thank you so much for all that you do and your time tonight.